is Michelle and welcome to Reading on My Breaks. I am excited for today's video because it'll be the first time that I'm playing my TBR game, Library Clue. There are other YouTubers that use Clue or Cluedo, Meg with Books, Griff Reads, Pages with Page, and Naomi's Bookshelf. I will link all of them down in the description below. I have made a previous video on how to play this game and I will link it above. So let's start playing the game and do our first roll. Okay, let's go with roll number 1. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see how many cards we have. We have 1, 2. So in the studio there were 2 cards, and to be able to look at this card I will need to read one of these popular books that I am not interested in all. So let's see which one we get. Jade 5 Gold. And then to look at the second card from the studio, I will have to go onto one of the booktubers channels. I'll roll the dice to see what month I'll go to, and I'll pick out a book that relates most to M. Burnett. Oh, and I picked Paperback Mo. For our first roll, we rolled a 10 and landed in the studio. For our first card, we pulled Jade Fire Gold. Excuse the typo. This book is written by June C.L. Tan, and the synopsis is: in order to save her grandmother from a cult of dangerous priests, a peasant girl cursed with the power to steal souls enters a tenuous alliance with an exiled prince bent on taking back the dragon throne. The pair must learn to trust each other, but are haunted by their past and the true nature of her dark magic. I did make this game over a year ago, just haven't had the guts to actually start a channel. So some of these are going to be a little older, but this sounds really good and I am excited to read it. For the second card, I chose a booktuber and got Paperback Mo. And I rolled a 2, so we'll be looking at his February videos. When I did go to his YouTube channel, I noticed that he has deleted all of his videos and is no longer creating content. So I went to his Instagram and went to February, I think it was February 2021, and chose one of the books that he posted in February, and that one is and I did choose The Binding, written by Bridget Collins, and the synopsis is: books are a dangerous thing in Collins' alternate universe, a place vaguely reminiscent of 19th century England, in a world in which people visit bookbinders to find themselves of painful and treacherous memories. Once their stories have been told and are bound between the pages of a book, the slate is wiped clean and their memories lose the power to hurt or haunt them. Okay, we still have 4 rolls left. Let's try again. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many cards do we have here? We have 2 again. For the billiard room, we have 2 cards as well. And this one is full of authors that either I believe I made this game like a year ago. I believe these are authors that I want to try reading or that I haven't read yet and maybe I'd be interested. And then these are library clue cards, and they have different prompts on them. So let's pick an author first. Joe Abercrombie. For roll number 2, I got another 10 and landed in the billiard room. For the first card, I chose an author, Joe Abercrombie. Again, another typo. And next we're going to pick a library clue card. I'm going to cut them and then pick the one on the top of the second pile. And it is Read a Horror Book. For the second card, I drew a library clue card, and this one was Read a Horror Book. Oops, that was upside down. For the second book, I drew a library clue card, and for this one, it says Read a Horror Book. And I chose Come Closer by Sarah Gran, and this is about an architect who starts hearing noises in her apartment and slowly starts to lose her mind. I'm not really a horror reader, but I am interested in reading more horror, and this is kind of like an intro, and not so much a thriller, but more on the horror side. Roll number 1 again. Another 10. All right, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And in here we have 2 cards again. Okay, for the library we have 2 cards again. So this one's going to be booktubers, and this one is going to be popular books that I am not excited to read. So let's pick a popular book first. And we have Razorblade Tears. I have since learned what Razorblade Tears is about, and I'm actually excited to read this one. Okay, and now we're going to pick a booktuber. And we have Coverswith Cassidy. Okay, getting a lot of books on here. I haven't gotten the 4 that we need though. So let's go for roll number 1 again. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Romance. For roll 4, I landed on romance, and for this, I am going to finish this book. This is Love and Vodka. I got this probably 2 years ago for Eurovision, and I have been putting it on TBRs and not finishing it. I think I've only gotten through the prologue, so this is the month to do this. If you have not heard of Eurovision, Helen from Helen's BookHaven puts it on every year, and Eurovision is a singing competition that goes on in the UK or the European Union maybe, and the countries choose one band and they battle it out to see, you know, who's the best singer that year, who has the best song maybe. You know, I've never watched Eurovision. I'm not exactly sure how it goes, but the readathon is you have the different countries that have entered, and then you go and you find either a book by somebody from that country or the book is set in that country, and you want to read books by the people who are going to finish the highest. And you get points depending on how your country's ended, or how your country's finished, excuse me. And it's just fun, and you read different books that you never would, and I have found some gems. So I'm hoping that this will be one of them, and yes, crossing fingers that I finally finish it. Oh, and I'll link Helen's YouTube page below, along with all of the booktubers that I speak of in this video. All right, let's go for roll number 2. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In here we have 3 cards. Oh, move you over just a little bit more. Oh no, you can see them. For the courtyard, we have 3 cards. So this is going to be popular books. These are the library clue cards, of course. And then this one over here is going to be authors that I'd like to try. So let's start with the library clue card. and one of the books from the book drop. Okay, and let's pick an author next. Dave Grohl, he is with the Foo Fighters, and I believe it's only his memoir, so I know what book I'll be reading for this one. And then let's pick a popular book. The House in the Cerulean Sea. So I'm guessing that these are just popular books on YouTube, that they are not popular books that I don't want to read. I probably added to it later. It was originally going to be popular books that I didn't want to read, but I guess I changed that. Roll 5, we got an 8 and we landed in the courtyard. For the first card, I chose a library clue card, and this one is one of my books from the book drop. The book drop is a subscription, book subscription, excuse me, that helps an independent bookstore, I forget their name, but I was doing this for a while. And the book that I chose for this is The Jasmine Throne. Third card, I picked a popular book, and for this one, wrong way, The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. Roll number 3. Nope, wait, this is 2 again. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sci-fi. For our 6th roll, we rolled a 7 and landed on sci-fi, and for this I chose Off Rock. Alright, here we go with roll number 3. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in here we have 3 cards again. For the drawing room, we also had 3 cards. So this one is going to be, oh, I forget now. Popular books. This one is going to be authors I'd like to read, and this one is booktubers. So let me mix this one up more, and we'll pick a popular book. Red Rising. Nice. Okay, and then I'll pick an author. Brandon Sanderson. I'm actually planning on doing because I really want to read Mistborn, but I'm going to be doing a buddy read with Kim from Expedition Through Pages, so I'll have to find a different Brandon Sanderson book to read for this one. And then the last one, just booktubers. Let's see what we got. Oops, dropped that one. We have Manda Lyn Reads. Awesome. For roll 7, we got another 10. I should be going to Vegas. And we landed in the dining room. And for the first card, we got popular book, Red Rising. For our second card, I chose an author and got Brandon Sanderson. And of course, the first book that popped in my mind was Mistborn, but I am waiting to read Mistborn with Kim from Expedition Through Pages. We are going to buddy read it together sometime in the future. So for this one, I went to my library, and instead of picking one of his huge books, I chose Legion. Oops. And this book is about a person, I don't know if he... They call him a genius, but I don't think that he's actually like a PI or anything like that. But he is a genius because he has many hallucinations, and his hallucinations know things, and so they help him solve crime. Yeah, there's 2 books. This one's really small, which I was excited about since there's so many books so far on this. But also it sounds interesting, and it will be my first time reading a Brandon Sanderson book. So I'm hoping that it sounds like it's going to be funny, and I love a funny book. So yes, so I picked this one. Rule number 3 again. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have 2 cards. For 8, I rolled a 7, and for the first card, I chose a booktuber and got Break Even Books, and the Break Even Books. And for this, I chose Bluebird, and from the video, all it said was that gung-slinging lesbians in space, I think. I might have those mixed up, but it's something like that, which sounds amazing. So that is the book that I am going to read for this card. For the second card, I picked another library clue card, and this one is published in the 2000s. So for this, I have chosen Black and White, and this is a book about it's a mom and daughter book, and the mom was a famous photographer and took pictures of the daughter when she was little, and those were pretty much the starting point for the mother's famous career, and have shown up in museums for many years. And she refers to herself as her mother's muse, and how being that muse and having everybody know her from those pictures has caused trauma in her life growing up. And then also with her, she has a daughter, and she has to go back and help her mom when she gets sick. So now she's going back, and the people are realizing that, oh, it's you from the photos again, but then also realizing that her daughter looks exactly like she did when she was little, and that they might start connecting her daughter with the photos, and she kind of sees the same trauma maybe happening for her daughter. And I think it sounds really interesting. I got this at the library. It was a blind date book from my library, and so I think it sounds really interesting. The photography goes with the art from my suspect's blurb. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that one's a wild card. Number 9, we rolled a 4 and landed on wild card. So for this, I have chosen some books. Oh, that's heavy. Hold on, wait. Okay. So for this, I have chosen some books that go with my suspect. So this is City of Dark Magic by Magnus Flight, by Magnus Flight. It does have guns on the back, so that would go with the arms dealer part of my suspect. I have the Flamethrowers, also a blind date from my library. This is about artists and motorcycles and Reno. So yes, and this is by Rachel Kushner, so that one's an option. So another option is We Spread by Ian Reid, and this is about Penny, who is an older artist, and she slowly starts to decline, doesn't know if something more unsettling is happening or it's because she's getting older. The next option we have is Rabbits for Food, and this is by Binny Kirshenbaum. I apologize, I'm probably butchering that. And this is about a writer who slowly starts to unravel in her breakdown in the psychiatric ward, which sounds very interesting. This is a nonfiction called Drawing Blood by Marley Crabapple. This is Drawing Blood by Molly Crabapple. This is a nonfiction, and it is her journey or her memoir on drawing and writing. And there are some pictures in here that I just thought were really interesting of different people and characters and places, and just think it's beautiful. So this is another option. The Punch Escrow by Tom M. Klein. The next one is one of my Book of the Month books. It is Darling Girl by Liz Mikulonsky, and this book has a military person in it. Let me see where it is. I think it's Army. I'm going to say Army. Has somebody from the Army in it, and this goes with the arms dealer part of My Suspect. And then we have The Dating Plan, also a Book of the Month book, and this is Fraud with Fake Dating in it. So I will be choosing one of those books for the wild card choice. And then for our last roll, roll number 4, is 3. 1, 2, 3. And this is poetry or short stories. Roll number 10, our last roll. We rolled a 3 and landed on landed on short stories or poems. I don't have any poetry books. I always try to look for poetry books and find that either they're short and I've kind of got the synopsis of them and read them while I was, kind of browsing through, or, I just don't know what to look for. So if you guys have any amazing poetry books you'd like to recommend, please do so in the comments. I appreciate it. For this one, I did choose a book off my shelf. I have Fragile Things by Neil Gaiman. And in here, the book that I have the story that I have chose to read is, if I can find it, has to do with art. It is called 15 Painted Cards from a Vampire Tarot. 15 Painted Cards from a Vampire Tarot. So that will be the one I am reading for short stories. And that's it. That's the end of all of the rolls. So besides the rolls, the readathons that I am going to be participating in, or the book clubs. So I am participating in Coverswith Cassidy's Lacanius readathon, and we are on the last book. Let me grab it. Ooh. Oh, she's big. The Light of All That Falls by James Inglington. I'm gonna go with Inglington. This is the third book and the last book in the Lacanius trilogy. Excuse me. And I think we have January and February to finish this, so I'd like to get a good start this month. I don't necessarily need to finish it, but that is the plan for this one. And then Leanne from Literary Diversions. Leanne from Literary Diversions is doing a read-along called Around the Disc in 800 Days. And so for January, we will be reading the first 2 books in Discworld, and this is The Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett and The Light Fantastic. And we'll read 2 books every month. We're going to be reading 41 books of the Discworld. I will link it below. I am excited. I have a coworker that has been telling me about the series and wanting me to do it forever, or read it forever, and yeah, I'm hoping that I love it as much as he does and as much as Leanne does, because yeah, I love good books. Let's see here. Oh, hold on. Let me get a book. Okay, for 2023 TBR Spin, hosted by Jill from the Book Bully and Sarah from Freshly Read Books. The first prompt is to read a book that has received an award. So for this, I am going to be reading Assembly by Natasha Brown. And this book is a Black British woman preparing to attend a lavish garden party at her boyfriend's family estate, set deep in the English countryside. At the same time, she is considering the carefully assembled piece of herself and standing at a monumentous crossroad. As the minutes tick down and the future beckons, she can't escape the question, is it time to take it all apart? Assembly is a story about the stories we live within, those of race and class, safety and freedom, winners and losers, and it is about one woman daring to take control of her own story, even if that costs her her life. I have heard wonderful things about this book. My husband bought it for me for Christmas, and yeah, I am excited to see how I enjoy it. So that will be for that one, and I will do the links for all of these readathons, book clubs, and everything below in the comments. The next one is Knockout TBR, and this is from Knockout TBR, and Melanie from Completely Melanie does this every year. And the two prompts for this are a one-word title, and for this I am going to use, I can grab it again, Assembly. And for mostly white on the cover, where's Fragile Things? I'm going to be using Fragile Things. And the Magical Readathon, I will put the thing up here. The prompts are to start the journey, either start a series or finish a series. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, wait a minute, I take it all back. I am going to start a series with The Color of Magic. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this guy. So we are going to go with The Color of Magic, and we will start on the side of starting a series. I think that's it. Oh, there's one more thing. I want to get through all of my Book of the Month books. I don't have a lot, but I have enough to where I would like to read them. So every month, if I do not pick a Book of the Month book for one of my prompts, I will be using a random wheel generator to choose one of my Book of the Month books, that I will be reading for that month. So if I pick one for the wild card, I'm not going to spin the wheel. If I don't pick one and I pick a different book, I will be in that video spinning the wheel to see which Book of the Month book that I will be picking. But yeah, so that's my January. I think that's about, oh, I counted it the other day. I think it's like 29 books. Oh no. We'll see how this goes. Maybe I need to change up the game a little bit. I'm not sure. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and happy reading this month. Please subscribe and like the video, and I will see you in the next one. All right, take care.